Edward Moose sat still in his chair, eyes locked on the little boy in front of him. The child's face, a miniature version of his own, wore an unsettling calmness beyond his years. Those dark, serious eyes stared back at him not with fear, but with quiet judgment, as though he were assessing Edward's worth. He's waiting for me to make the first move, Edward thought. Like a soldier in a standoff. Of course Justin had grown up in a military base. He would know how to hold his ground. But this was his son. Was the boy staring at him with contempt, disbelief, or just indifference? Edward shifted, squatting to the boy's level. His voice softened. "Hey, little guy, what's your name?" The boy scowled. "I'm not little guy. I have a name," Edward chuckled. All right. What's your name, then?" "Justin Moo," the boy answered, chin high and eyes sharp. Justin Moo. So she didn't hide him from me after all, Edward thought, the anger he didn't know he had slowly dissipating. One night, that was all it took for them to have a child Dan he had never known. He swallowed. "Do you know I'm your daddy?" "Yes," Justin replied flatly. "Mommy told me." He shifted again, clearly tired. It was almost noon. He must have come here early and from the army base, no less. Edward's voice dropped. "Then, why didn't you come find me sooner?" Justin blinked at him, then answered with quiet precision. "Mommy said you were busy. She didn't want to bother you." That hit harder than Edward expected. Busy? He had been busy. Yes, but not with anything worth missing a lifetime. He'd never once tried to contact the woman he married for one night. Never even asked his secretary to follow up only to send her money every year. And now, this little boy stood in front of him, his son, his legacy. "Your mom really said I was too busy." "We see you on TV every day, with different women." Justin's expression remained cool, but Edward saw the sadness behind the eyes. He felt a stab of shame. "So, you've been keeping tabs on me." Justin crossed his arms. "Who said I cared? If you didn't appear on TV all the time with that silly smile, we wouldn't even notice you." Edward raised an eyebrow, amused. "Silly smile? Do you know how many women fall for that smile?" Justin flopped onto the couch, ignoring him. For all his sharp words, he was still just a little boy who wanted to play. "Are you hungry?" Edward checked his watch. Every movement, smooth, and practiced the signature elegance of a man used to being watched. "Yes." Justin nodded without looking at him. "All right, Daddy will take you to lunch." He picked up his coat and carefully lifted Justin into his arms. It still felt surreal. He had a son, 3 months. That's how long he'd give Daisy eyeing before she had to face him again. This game of avoidance was over. At the office, just as Edward reached the door, Aaron Kiao hurried toward him, arms full of documents. "Mr. Moo, are you?" "Watch where you're going," Edward snapped, stepping aside just in time to keep Justin from being jostled. Sorry. "I didn't see." Aaron trailed off, eyes wide as he caught sight of the boy. "Who's the child?" "My son," Edward said, as casually as commenting on the weather. Aaron nearly tripped over his own feet. "Your what?" "My son," Edward repeated. Aaron's mind reeled. In just one morning, his CEO went from bachelor to father. Was this really happening? "Is that weird to you?" Edward's brow furrowed. No, not at all," Aaron backpedaled quickly. "Completely normal." Edward snorted and turned away. "Good. Cancel my noon appointment. We're going to lunch. Don't bother me unless it's life or death." He strode off with Justin in his arms, completely ignoring the stunned secretaries in the hallway. They whispered behind manicured hands. Was that really his son? He looks just like him. But isn't he still seeing Jessica Lynn? Maybe it's his godson. Aaron sighed and waved them off. Back to work, everyone. Though, truth be told, he had just as many questions. And now he had to handle the CEO's calendar too. Fantastic. On the way to lunch, Edward walked past the building's glass walls, Justin still in his arms. He knew they were being watched, gossiped about. He didn't care. He glanced down. Justin stared up at him with a curious gaze, innocent and intense all at once. "Uncle," the boy said sweetly, "can we go to KFC?" Edward almost tripped. "Uncle?" Justin blinked. "You don't live with my mommy. All the other kids' daddies do. So, you're my uncle." Edward frowned. "Justin, I am your daddy." "No, you're not with mommy, so you're not my daddy," Justin said matter-of-factly. "Uncle's fine." The words stung more than he wanted to admit. Edward exhaled. "Listen, I didn't know you existed. That's why I wasn't there. Would you have stayed if you did?" Justin asked, tilting his head. Edward hesitated. "I don't know." Justin looked away, as if expecting that answer. He'd seen his mommy staring at the newspaper for hours, eyes red. He didn't understand why she hurt so quietly, but he'd seen it, felt it. And still, he missed having a dad. At school, the other kids teased him, said he didn't have a father. He'd gotten into fights for it, told them his dad was just too busy. But deep down, he wanted more than explanations. He wanted someone who'd show up. Edward's silence stretched, so he tried to shift the mood. "KFC it is, then," he said, forcing a smile. "You can have anything you want. Chicken legs, fries, a big soda." Justin perked up. "Even the ice cream?" Edward ruffled his hair. "Even the ice cream." The boy beamed and Edward felt something warm bloom in his chest. He hadn't planned on fatherhood, but here he was, and for the first time in a long time, he wanted to stay.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.